friends, and happy Friday. It's so good to be back with you all. I missed you guys. I hope you thought of me, maybe even missed me, but it's great to be back. And what a day to be back. It's the night that literally no one has asked for. Yes, it's Stupid Joke Night. And if you are not familiar with Stupid Joke Night, well, let me just say you're gonna wish you were. So I have Haunted Bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday Sabanelli, as is the tradition here on the Friday night live stream. And we got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of folks to say hello to already. Honestly, I have not been drinking yet. I'm just nervous with anticipation because it is Stupid Joke Night. Mushroom Leg, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you first up tonight. And there's Big Country Briar. How's it going? Cole, Priest, and Rabbi do indeed walk into a bar, and why they didn't see it is beyond me. There's Jeffrey Feinberg. Steve, how you doing, Steve? Mushroom Leg stuck at work doing inventory. Oh, no. Well, I'm glad you can sneak in sometime there. Tiago, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Millennial Codger. Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island. Hello there, Tony. Michael Case, not smoking autumn evening. Well, I smoke it all year, so I can't say yet, but not this evening, certainly. There's Big Dave. Sleepy Piper Todd. Good evening. Chris Weber. Hello there. You in Iowa. Flint Hill Briar. Codger Jim. Jim, I feel like that all the time. Oh, goodness, Big Dave. One that's right for the season. What do you call a dog who meditates? A werewolf. Oh, my goodness. Yes, yes. That's the... If you thought that was funny and you laughed, that's probably the most fun you're going to have tonight. To give you an idea how good Stupid Joke Night is, I won an award last year from YouTube. They actually sent me an award for forgetting to do it. That's how... It's pretty bad, though. And speaking of spooky season, it is October, so you're allowed to get excited about Halloween now. And I have my Larry Blackett Frankenstein Monster Tamper out tonight. Larry's got some great Halloween-themed tampers. I saw he has a new one out. I don't know if it must have been released by now. I don't want to give too much away, but Big Dave's joke harkens to it. Let's just say it might get a little more furry when the moon is full. Critics View, good to see you tonight. Glad you laughed, Cole. Somebody had to. Nah, we have fun with this. I like teasing about how bad the jokes are, and they are bad, but it's a good time. We do it once a year, collect up jokes. Folks can put them into the chat if they like, and we'll just have a big old time and see where it goes. But we'll wait a few minutes for the room to fill up before we start really rolling into the hilarity. So it's been a tough week. I tell you, this time of year, this is when work starts to really get crazy because we really start to ramp up towards the end of the year because everybody wants to show that they did something, and nobody bothered to do anything for the first 9 months of the year, and so now it's just crazy. And it's just the way life is. And, being away last week, that just sort of compounded things. I had hundreds of emails, literally hundreds of emails to go through. So it was a fun week, and it just flew by. I don't think I told you guys, I got my car back. I got my car back on Saturday. And there's Ian Haywood. Greetings and salutations to you, sir. Got my car back on Saturday and was very happy, and took it to work on Monday and parked it in the parking lot and noticed that it was rolling. The darn emergency brake was apparently not connected. They just didn't bother to connect it, I think. So I called them up. They said, "Oh, can you drop it off?" So I dropped it off on Thursday night. Fortunately, it's a manual, so I can park it and put it into gear, and it won't roll away. Tonight I'm having another one of these wonderful. I'll have what she's having. Chocolate hazelnut imperial stout that pretty much tastes like an imperial stout with hints of cocoa. I don't get any hazelnut out of it, but such is life. Hillbilly Piper, how's it going, Donnie? Doug Owen, two blondes tell me they're going to take a rocket ship ride to the sun. I say they will burn up. They say no, we will go at night. Bump. Because that's his name, Mushroom Leg. Anyway, let me get the evil genius. I'll have what she's having going here. It was this, or I think I have another Miller in the fridge, but I thought I might need the higher alcohol content tonight. And I reserve the right to get the Miller. I don't know, Mushroom Leg. I think Mushroom Leg is a pretty cool nickname. I do indeed know how to pour a beer there, Ian. Except for when I mess it up terribly. That's something to believe in, Doug. Sensei McGiggles. Oh, what a great name for this evening. Hello, good to see you, Sensei. Patrick's got Haunted Bookshop in his Friday Savinelli. Bullet bourbon with a natty daddy chaser. Nice. We're going to suspend the tobacco of the month this month and possibly for the rest of the year. The reason being is that I already have tobaccos that I smoke around Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and I don't want to get that all muddled up. So I think we're going to probably just revisit the tobacco of the month in January. And the reason I'm bringing that up now is that if I'm breaking in a new pipe, I always break in new pipes with Haunted Bookshop, so I don't want to mix anything else in tonight, for sure. Oh, I'm glad you're finally enjoying it, Cole. Doug, I hope that happens. Yeah, Phil's play the Mets tomorrow's first game, and I don't know. On paper, I think that's what's going to happen, Doug. But the Phillies have been able to disappoint me so many times, and with the Mets being one of the most hated rivalries we got going here in Philadelphia, I just don't have a good feeling about this. John Brett being fancy with a gin and tonic, very nice, and Haunted Bookshop, good stuff. And there's Alamo Piper. Hello to you, sir. I see folks commenting on the freezing, which they often do, and I don't have any control over that, guys. I got a good internet connection. Everything's green here. I can see the upload speeds and everything's green. So whatever's happening is either between, well, it's between you and YouTube, or YouTube's doing something goofy, but there's nothing I can control. It's a good point, Doug. And I think that's a flaw with the whole playoff system, but no point in getting into that. Crafty Pipin smoking a new Peterson Arclo 304 with some Penzance. Cool. And Cole's just finished off some Chattanooga High Malt Cask Strength. Hitting hard. Very nice. Blame it on Verizon. I don't have Verizon, but you can blame it on Verizon. I don't have a filter that would do that, Phil. It can't be me. And other folks are saying it's fine, so I just don't know. It might be a VPN, Alamo. Yeah, Doug, I think you're right about that. And, you know, the Phillies can lose their edge real quick. Couch. All right, the party can begin. Couch is here. Couch, are you back home or where are you these days? I can't keep track of you. Couch moves around a lot. All briared up. How you doing, John? Ah, it's a rare occurrence, I'm sure, Crafty Piping. Glad you got to take advantage of that. Well, we're hitting the 15-minute mark. We got a nice crowd here. I say we get the jokes going. Because the longer we wait, the longer we're going to have to do this. I first want to thank all the folks that already sent jokes. And again, feel free to load them into the chat. I may or may not read them depending on what's going on, but everybody will. And we love a good stupid joke. Call them stupid jokes, call them dad jokes, call them dumb jokes, whatever you want. As long as they're not funny, or as long as they're funny for all the wrong reasons. Flynn Hill got a tub of Carter Hall and Prince Albert at the grocery store. Wow. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Okay. So we got jokes from Ronnie Ewing. I decided I'm going to just name everybody that sent jokes rather than attribute jokes to them because some folks sent a lot and some folks sent one, and a lot of folks probably don't want to be connected to them. So we got Ronnie Ewing, Paladin Piper. Let's see, Michael Case. I'm reading mine. Doug Owen. Doug gave one of his away already. And Smarty Bob. And I think he might be the last credited guy that I've got here. And I think I've got a few as well that I've acquired from here and there. So we will see. So yes, we only want intelligent stupid jokes for sure, Phil. Oh, Doug. Doug loves the something goes into a bar and has an altercation with the bartender joke. Hey, Doug, got any nails? Okay, it's all downhill from Doug's joke in the chat, just so you know. What's the last part of the body to die? The pupils, they dilate. Yep. Oh, all briared up. How do you make an egg roll? You push it. Oh boy, oh boy. Yes, we need this. Hopefully, oh, that's not going to work if I do that. It's getting too complicated. I got too many screens here. There. Hopefully you gotta, let me know if that worked. Oh, Flint Hill, you left us hanging. No, Big Dave, no. Oh, Flint Hill. Millennial, you're absolutely right. We do. All right. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. I honestly think they send these to me because they know it tortures me. Piper asks, why did the salamander go to Hollywood? Why did the salamander go to Hollywood? To make new move. Oh my goodness. Just stick with the turkey. Why did the kid throw a stick of butter out the window? To see a butterfly. I'm going to get you. You know who you are. Why can't you trust atoms? They make up everything. Yes, that one's actually kind of funny. Bill, that's not a joke. That's just the sad truth. I do like doctor and lawyer jokes. I've got some good lawyer jokes in here. What is the most terrifying word in nuclear physics? Oops. Chris, I remember the moth that goes into the podiatrist office, but that's all I can remember. Big Dave, what do mermaids use to wash their fins? Tide. Beowulf and Miss Kathy, good to see you guys. What did the right eye say to the left eye? I think there's something smelling between us. There you go. I've heard the same joke with between you and me, something smells. Both very funny. That's an oldie but a goodie, Doug. What do you call a busload of lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. Yes, indeed. Ah. How did the one tectonic plate apologize to the other tectonic plate? My fault. Okay. We're going to move on to better jokes, I promise. Will do, Chris. Just give me a minute because I got to shell out to do that. Uh, I've got a lot of these like sort of one or two liners that I like them, but they're hard to deliver. There was a girl named Lorna Doone. I dated her sister. Nothing doing. What did the skillet have for his birthday? Pancakes. Am I overthinking that one, Big Dave? Why can't a leopard hide? Asked Old Briar Up. Yornik, hello. He's always spotted. Oh my goodness, John, you earned this. Ah, let me check my email. I know this joke now, yes. Okay, we're gonna save this one for last. It's a long, but it's my favorite kind of joke. So thank you, Chris. Don't let me forget. We will do that later. Because if I do it now, I will lose most of the audience. Okay, so it was the simple explanation, Dave. It was just that the skillet was a sort of pan, and therefore the cake that a pan would eat would be a pancake. Okay, okay, gotcha, gotcha. Sorry, I overthought it there. This one is funny. It makes me feel like I'm 6 years old. Why don't ghosts have children? Because they have Halloweenies. Uh, oh, Andrew, that's terrible. What do you call a dog with no legs? Nothing. He won't come anyway. Oh my goodness. What's the name of the guy with an eagle on his head? It's Cliff, of course. Oh, Yornik. Oh my. Yes, it would be, of course. Yes. You know, the hardest part about this, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. There's zero feedback except what I'm reading in the chat. So, like, I'm just now getting a laugh to the Halloweenies. I don't know if I'm dying, if you're all hating this, if this is terribly boring. I'm enjoying it, but I have no idea how it's playing. And that makes it, if we were all together in a room, this would be a lot more fun. It's fun for you. For me, it's torture. But I do this stuff for you guys. That's how much I care. What do you call a man with no arms and no legs in front of your door? Matt. Yes, indeed, Chris. How do you know if Dracula is sick? He's coughing. Ha ha. Oh no, Chris. There's a sequel. The guy with no arms and no legs is now hanging on your wall. His name is Art. Patrick, I'm glad to hear that unless you're being really sarcastic. Oh, there's a whole series of this. Now the guy's in the ocean and his name is Bob. That's hilarious. Oh, bait. Phil one-upped it. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? If they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. You know, John, I came up with that joke when I was like 8 years old because we lived in a house in Wildwood, New Jersey that was right off the bay, and there was seagulls everywhere. And I once asked my grandfather why we didn't call them bagels, and he laughed. Sensei McGiggles, why didn't the skeleton cross the road? Uh-oh, there we go. He didn't have the guts. And Chris's poor armless, legless guy wound up on the beach with the name Sandy. Oh, he's... Oh, Flint Hill, that's terrible. I don't know if I want to tell that one. Uh, you can read Flint Hill's joke yourself. It's a continuation of the poor man with no arms and no legs. Pipe appeal. What do you call a sleepwalking nun? A Roman Catholic. Oh, it's funny. It's definitely funny. Why did the baby cross the road? Because he was stapled to the chicken. Yes. And Brian wants to live in a world where chickens can cross the road without having their motives questioned. And I agree with you. The poor chickens, they deserve a break. They do indeed deserve a break. That is crazy, Phil. I'm trying to remember, I knew someone, and I think it might be someone that's on the live stream that was sitting out on their back patio with a pipe, and a bird actually went right into the pipe. Um, if it is the person I'm thinking of, he'll raise his hand. Otherwise, we'll just say it was a pipe smoker. Why did the monkey fall out of the tree? It was dead. Thank you, Chris. Why did the second monkey fall out of the tree? It was stapled to the first monkey. I thought we were going to get a monkey see, monkey do there, but no. Uh, where do rainbows go when they've been bad? To Prism, so they have time to reflect on what they've done. All right. I truly do enjoy this. Tomorrow I should use all of these jokes on the unsuspecting Kate who did nothing to deserve it. Poor Kate. Why did Sally fall off her bike? She got it. I don't know how the refrigerator works into that. It's funny. Uh, did you hear they are now using lawyers instead of rats in experiments? Why? There are more lawyers than rats. That's the first reason. The second reason, the researchers don't get attached to the lawyers. And the third reason, and my favorite, there are some things rats just won't do. Chicken crossed the road to show the opossum it could be done. There you go, James. Oh, John, that is bad. What do you call a lazy Joey a pouch potato? Andrew Galloway with a great lawyer joke. What do you call three lawyers buried up to their necks in sand? Not enough sand. You know, we got a couple of lawyers, or at least former lawyers in the audience. I hope you guys don't. Well, I know one of you has already told a lawyer joke, so. But hey, you're adults. You know what you got into. What do you get if you mix Presbyterian mixture with three nuns? An ecumenical result. There you go, Doug. The doctor tells the patient he needs a heart transplant. And good news, there are two donors, a healthy 25-year-old and an 80-year-old lawyer. The patient says, I'll take the 80-year-old lawyer. And the doctor says, why would you do that? And the patient responds, well, because it's been seldom used. Yes. Oh, Gary, I'm going to regret this. What do you call a cross-dressing nun? A transistor. Oh, my goodness. Gary, you earned this. Did I miss Eric S. coming? I saw somebody say hello to Eric, but I didn't see him. Why don't you tease a paleontologist, asks John, because you'll get your ass kicked. Not bad at all, Yernick. You tell someone if they were any dumber, you'd have to water them twice a day. Crafty piping. Why are lawyers good at limbo? Because they always pass the bar. Oh my goodness. Why are there no alcoholic lawyers? Because they always pass the bar. I just made that one up. Dogs can't operate MRI machines because cats scan. Yes, indeed. How do you find Ronald McDonald in a nudist camp? Oh, Gary, I can't wait. Bill Rivera says, two fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, any idea how to drive this thing? He has sesame seeds on his buns. Oh, Gary. Oh, my goodness. Adam comes to God and says, I want some help. He says, I want a partner who will cook and clean and do all the chores and who will treat me like a god. And God says, well, I can do that for you, but it'll cost you an arm and a leg. Adam thinks for a moment and he says, God, what can I get for a rib? Alamo Piper. How many gorillas does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but it takes a whole lot of light bulbs. I like that. Whew. Okay, we got a couple rapid fire bad ones. Andrew Galloway, where was King David's temple located? Beside his ear. Phil Rivera, why does a chicken coop have only two doors? Because if it had four, it would be a sedan. And Chris Weber, how many flies does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just be two, but just two, but I'll be damned if I know how they got in there. I know only biblical types will get the rib joke, but hey, that's okay. There's a few of us, Doug. Sorry, not trying to call you a biblical type there, Mr. Former Lawyer. What is Forrest Gump's password? One Forrest one. I don't get that one. I don't know Forrest Gump though. How many Beverly Hills men does it take? Oh, I'm afraid of this one, Doug. How many Beverly Hills men does it take to screw in a light bulb? 3. One to go out for a Chardonnay, one to get the brie, and one to screw the bulb in. Okay, that was funny. Yes. Yes, that was much better than I thought it was going to be. Oh, Phil. Phil Rivera slipping in a little chemistry for me. Two blondes driving down I-5 to see Disneyland, and the freeway sign says Disneyland left. So the blondes turn around and go home. Run, Forrest, run, Mike. Run, Forrest. Is that what it was supposed to be? Instead of one, it was supposed to be run? I never saw the movie. I don't know. I don't like Tom Hanks, so I avoid it like the plague. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Both the joke and the movie. Thank you, Doug. Oh, John, I gotta get the rim shot ready. What do you call a red-headed ninja? A ginger. Yeah. I know this is going to disappoint you, but I think I'm going to have to reload the pipe. Nope, I'm good. No, Big Dave, no. I don't know, Yernick. If I missed it, I apologize. I don't read every one. Some of them I skip on purpose. Some of them I just don't notice. The last one I got from you, Yornik, is if I was any dumber, I'd have to water you twice a day. If you were any dumber, I'd have to water you twice a day. It's supposed to be the mating call of the wild blonde. I'm so drunk. Reading a book on anti-gravity, it's impossible to put down. Oh, Andrew, yes, indeed. Yeah, the ginger joke was pretty bad, Mushroom. It's okay, Big Dave. You can type them. I'm just not going to read them. I'm going to read them to myself, but I'm not going to read them out loud. I'm very hard to offend because half the time I don't understand them. So. Oh, John, that's obscure and funny. What do you call a stolen Tesla, an Edison? Oh, Bill. Earlier, someone's had what's a lawyer's favorite uh, outfit, a lawsuit, and now Phil's got what kind of an underpants do lawyers wear? Briefs? Yeah, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, just so you can plan for it, is I'm gonna as soon as this pipe is done, before I reload with the next pipe, I'm going to read the long joke that was sent to me by email because it is one of my all-time favorite jokes. It was funny, Big Dave. It was funny. Depends. I get it, Phil. I get it. All right, let's see what we got here. A man was walking down the street when he saw a man standing in a mud puddle with a stick and a string on it, moving it up and down. He asked the man, "What are you doing?" And the man said, "I'm fishing." The man was confused by this and thought, I got to learn more about this. So he said, "How about you come into the pub with me and I'll buy you a drink?" So they sit down, and while they're drinking, the man says, "So how many have you caught today?" And the man looks at him and says, "Well, you're my eighth." I should have had the drum roll ready, but I'm pumped. There you go, Andrew. Why did the cowboy get a dachshund? Someone told him to get a long little doggy. See, there'll only be 3 or 4 of them tonight, but those make it all worthwhile. Yes, Lord Hogarth, that would be just one step too far, huh? Good to see you, buddy. Okay, if you got any children in the room, cover their ears. This one is about as off color as I'm going to go tonight. A man was torn between 3 ladies he wanted to marry, and he came up with a plan to decide who would be the best wife. So he gave each of them $5,000. The first one got a makeover, new clothes and shoes and jewelry. And when the man asked why she spent the money that way, she said, "Because I want to look beautiful for you, because I love you very much." The second woman took the $5,000 and bought the man new expensive golf clubs, a new watch, a new suit and shoes. And the man said, "Well, why did you spend the money that way?" And she said, "Because I want you to look nice, because I'm proud of you and I love you so much." The third woman took the $5,000 and invested it. Made a lot of money in just a few weeks. And when the man asked how she spent the money, she said, "I invested it, made a lot of money, gave him his $5,000 back, and told him that she took the rest of it, put it into a joint bank account for the." I like that one, but it's too long for right now. I got a couple of nicknames for coworkers. Lava lamp looks good but not very bright. Deck chair folds under pressure. Dr. Doolittle, name says it all. 007, zero motivation, zero skills, and 7 bathroom breaks. Yes, yes, there we go. Ate the punchline. Sorry. Uh, Doug, I don't know which joke you liked, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. With the delay and everything and all the messages scrolling, it's hard for me to keep the chat in real time in my head. Which joke was it that you missed the punchline for? Give me a clue, and I'll redo it. My boss calls me computer, not because I'm smart, but because if left for 15 minutes, I fall asleep. Okay, the $5,000 joke. So the first woman takes the money and spends it on herself to look pretty. The second woman takes the money and spends it on him so he looks good. The third woman takes the money and invests it, makes a lot of money, gives him back his $5,000, and tells him that she put the rest of the money in a joint account so that when they're married, they'll be able to live a happy and comfortable life. And the man thinks it over, and after giving it long, considerable thought, he decides to marry the one with the biggest boobs. So thank you for making me retell that one, because that was the one that was most embarrassing. And that is what the beer was for, yes. Why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of pants with him? In case he got a hole in one. All right, we are done with the Haunted Bookshop here. We're going to bring out a new pipe and load it up with some more Haunted Bookshop. But before we do that, we're going to read this fine joke that Chris Weber sent to me. And it is one of my all-time favorites. It's a little bit long, but bear with me here. I think you'll enjoy this one, and hopefully YouTube won't cut me off. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "Where do I begin with my problems? Every day I go to work for Gregory Vasilovich, and all day long I toil. But what is my work? I'm a bureaucrat. And so every day I joylessly move papers from one place to another and then back again. I no longer know what it is to actually do. I don't even know if Gregory Vasilovich knows. He only knows that he has power over me, and this seems to bring him much happiness. And where is my happiness? It is when I awake in the morning and I do not know who I am. In that single moment I am happy. In that single moment, before the memory of who I am strikes me like a cane, and I take to the streets and walk in a malaise here and there and here again. Then is the time for work." And you know what? Maybe I'll do a separate video on it because I love the joke. It's really funny. Norm Macdonald was a master at those kinds of jokes. Big Dave says, "My boss said dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So I went to work dressed as Batman." Good one, Big Dave. I can see you in a Batman costume too. I think you'd look just fine. So, can you hear me? Am I talking to myself? Can anyone hear me right now? Maybe? Anyone? Let me know if you've got any you know what? I don't think, what is going on here? Okay, you can hear me. Oddly enough, oh, I see what's going on. Okay. I had the audio up for the rim shot, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't see my audio. It was because I was looking at the rim shot audio. Yes, that would be the last thing you need. So, I got a new pipe. You might recognize that. My buddy Phil Rivera, I asked him to make me a commission, and I gave him very little instructions. I said I wanted a pot. I told him roughly how big I wanted the bowl to be and a slight bend, and Phil just outdid himself with this one. Doug, don't tell them that. They'll start seeing all my secrets. So I'm going to do the new pipe striptease thing here and get ready to be amazed. Look at that beauty. He really outdid himself on this. Look at the band on that. I hope you can see the metalwork on that. I think it's brass. Correct me if I'm wrong, Phil. Beautiful pot, slightly bent. I'm excited about this pipe. And I always break pipes in with one at bookshop, so that's what I'm going to do. And this is, you can see this is unsmoked. Hopefully you can see it's unsmoked. I got that, it's funny. So I got home last week from the funeral and everything, Friday evening. I probably could have done the live stream if I really wanted to kill myself, but I didn't want to. So it's probably about 6:30 when we got in. And they're waiting for me because we had the mail stopped, and I thought I had it started up on Saturday, but it actually started on Friday. So it was good that we got home on Friday. And in the mail was a package, and in that package was this pipe. And I thought, darn it, I want to smoke this on the Friday night live stream, and now I have to wait a week. And it's been really hard to wait that week. The Urban Hermit, how you doing, Everett? It is beautiful, Flint Hill. It's one of the few times I've felt bad about lighting a pipe because it's so pretty. But I think Phil would be more offended if I didn't. So here we go. What if it blows up? It's like one of them joke cigars and Phil's just having a laugh. Wouldn't that be funny? This is my third pipe from Phil. Although the previous two that I purchased were ones that he had available, not ones that I commissioned. So, and I should point out something really unique about this, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on the camera, but it's a really cool effect. He left the edge of the, yeah, it's not going to show too well, but there's like a bubbling effect right along the edge of the stem that just goes really well with this band. And it's the sort of thing that I honestly would have just sanded out without thinking, but Phil noticed how well it tied in with the rest of the pipe, and I'm really glad it did. It makes this unique, and yeah, I love it. Piper said would like to thank his legs for supporting him, his arms for always being by his side, and his fingers, he could always count on them, especially his middle finger, which always stuck up for him. There you go. And Mushroom Leg is out of work and on to freedom. Two windmills were sitting on a hill, says Big Dave. One asks the other, do you have a favorite song? And the other replies, well, all my life I've been a heavy metal fan. Yeah. Yeah, we're back. Oh my goodness. So a teacher in the classroom wanted to impress wanted to impress on her class the health issues of consuming alcohol. So she had two dishes. In one she put an ounce of water, and the other she put an ounce of alcohol. And she took out two night crawlers. She placed one night crawler into the water, and it wriggled around and was perfectly happy. And then she placed the other night crawler into the alcohol, and it wriggled around and quickly died. And the teacher said, does anybody understand the meaning of this exercise? Little Johnny, you know little Johnny, he's in all these classroom jokes. Little Johnny raised his hand, and the teacher said, Johnny, what have you learned? Apparently the teacher had not learned that Johnny is not the one you call on. Johnny, what have you learned? And Johnny replied, an Amish farmer is walking through his field when he sees a guy drinking from his pond. He's scooping it up with his hands and drinking, and the farmer yells at him. He says, Trinken Sie nicht das Wasser. Die Kuh und das Schwein haben in dem Gescheichen. And to translate that loosely, don't drink the water. The cows and the pigs defecate in it. The guy shouts back, this is America. I don't understand your gibberish. Speak English, you moron. And the farmer replies, use two hands, you'll get more. She was only a stockbroker's daughter, but every guy wanted his share. Eh. What are you going to do? Excuse me for a moment. Ah, there we go. Yeah, the buffering was part of the joke. It's all part of an elaborate performance art piece. I don't know, honestly, I don't understand why it's buffering. I wish you could see this. I mean, it's an excellent connection. There's been no, have there been any skipped? So actually tell me if it skipped any upload frame. 0 dropped frames during the entire live stream. So I've been streaming for an hour and 31 minutes, counting the, so I start the stream running before I actually start the live stream, so it runs for a while just so that YouTube can handshake with it. So this has been running for an hour and 31 minutes, and there's been no dropped frames, not a single one. So I don't know. Well, Gary, if you're getting annoyed, I'm sorry, but you know, go watch something else, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing everything I can here to make it fun and entertaining for y'all. Listening to NPR at full blast, I can't listen to NPR for 3 seconds, let alone all day. Oh, Phil, this is really, this is smoking really nice. Oh, thank you, Pepe. Glad Mrs. Pepe enjoys it. Gamecock Piper, great to have you, buddy. Oh, I know, John. I know nobody's. I'm not. Don't worry. It's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure everybody understands that I'm as frustrated as you are with it. But you know, such is life. So Morris and his wife Esther went to the state fair every year, and every year Morris would say, "Esther, I'd like to ride in that helicopter." Esther replied, "I know, Morris, but that helicopter ride is $50, and $50 is $50." One year, Esther and Morris went to the fair, and Morris said, "Esther, I'm 85 years old. If I don't ride in that helicopter, I might never get another chance." And to this, Esther replied, "Morris, isn't that ride a $50 ride? And $50 is $50. The pilot overheard the couple and said, "Folks, I'll make you a deal. I'll take both of you for a ride, and if you can stay quiet the entire ride and not say a word, I'll not charge you. But if you say one word, it's $50. Morris and Esther agree, and up they went. The pilot did all sorts of fancy maneuvers, but not a word was heard. He did his daredevil trips over and over and over again, but still not a word. When they landed, the pilot turned to Morris and said, "By golly, I did everything I could to get you to yell out, but you didn't. I'm impressed." And Morris said, "Well, to tell you the truth, I almost said something when Esther fell out, but you know, $50 is $50." Not my fault. You send them, I just read them. Yes, Couch, you missed it. This is my new Phil Rivera pipe. First time I'm smoking it, actually. Yes, Pepe, I'm afraid it was Esther. Oh, Big Dave, that's good. Today at a bank, an old lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. Where did the time go? Indeed, Patrick. Got 15 minutes left. I think most of the time went to me telling stupid jokes, but you know, I tease about this, but it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this, and I'm so glad we were able to do it again. And you know, we're getting pretty close to Halloween, and I like to think of Halloween as the start of the holiday season, and we do a lot of good stuff around Halloween. We usually have a special Halloween live stream. I try to do a Halloween video every year. Uh, Probably not going to do one this year, and I'll explain why in a moment. Um, Usually do something, you know, leading up to Christmas. We always have a Christmas party live stream sort of thing. Maybe we'll try to do some giveaways this year or something. So a lot of good stuff coming. And the I'm excited this year because I'm going to try to get in on the LJ Peretti Thanksgiving blend. I missed it the past couple of years, mostly because I just had some, and I know I've got some in my cellar, but I cannot find it. So I think this year I'm going to buy it. That's going to be my smoke for the month of November. So we will see. But yeah, so October, unfortunately, there might be some issues because I shouldn't say unfortunately. Unfortunately for us, but not for me or you really. Um, so I promised that I would go and help my mother-in-law clean out some of my father-in-law's things. He's got a whole room full of fly fishing and fly tying stuff, and we want to make sure that that doesn't just get tossed. And some of the folks are very anxious to clean things out, and they don't know what they're looking at and all that. So I said, you know, just leave that room alone, and I'll come back in October and I'll go through it and sort everything, and we'll figure out, you know, who of his friends would appreciate this fly rod or this fly tying material or whatnot, and we'll get that all sorted. So I'm probably going to do that towards the end of the month. And my wife really loves to go to Pittsburgh for Halloween because she likes that they have a lot of kids in the neighborhood that come around. The trick or treating is still a big thing in her neighborhood, and she likes that. We don't have it here. They do the trunk or treat thing, and if we show up, we don't have kids and we look like creepy old folk. So anyway, the bottom line is I may wind up being in Pittsburgh around then, and so we may not be able to do a special Halloween show, but such is life. So I'll keep you posted on that as we go forward, but we'll see what happens. I never drink. line. Yeah, that's a great line. It is a wonderful movie, Doug. Yeah, we can work in the Halloween live stream. We'll do something fun for it for sure, Doug. But I will not have time to do a special Halloween video like I have in the past. And yeah, that's just life this year. I'm gonna see what is there, Patrick. So I actually am overwhelmed with fly tying materials. I have more than I will use in my lifetime. And my father-in-law is the person that introduced me to fly tying. So I want to make sure that part of his legacy is to help other people that might be interested. So if there's material that's good quality and can be used, if there's friends of his that are interested because he got them interested, or also he was involved in Project Healing Waters. So if there's an organization like that, and the local chapter of the VA has a fly tying monthly fly tying thing that he was involved in, I may donate it to them. But he has a lot of old material too, and I'm one of my hobbies is to tie old style flies using the original materials. There's not many people that do that anymore, so I think those kind of things might just wind up getting tossed if I give them to somebody. So that kind of stuff I might save for myself. But the other things I would probably try to get them into the hands of somebody that could use them and appreciate them. Michael, yes, she's all right. She's going to be all right. Right now, there's a question of whether she's going to. One of the sisters might move back in. Don't know what the story is yet, but she's doing well. Thank you for asking. Bella will come out of his coffin, Ron. We'll definitely have the Halloween pipe come out, and we'll do something special with that. Oh, I'm glad you like that one, Swaggy man. The crazy thing is that I make those Halloween videos. Well, I shouldn't say every year because I've missed quite a few years, but they're a real labor of love. I mean, they take a lot of time, especially the ones like the ones I made on Lugosi and Karloff and Lon Chaney Jr. Those were that took a lot of time to make those videos. Also, the one on the Hammer Frankenstein movies, and they get very little views, very little. So, which is fine, but I feel kind of silly spending more time on that than anything else, and then fewer people watch that than watch a goofy, hey guys, it's Sunday morning and I'm smoking a pipe kind of video. So, I don't. Pepe, I'm not sure what you're asking there. What do you mean by Dan Bailey's, or is that a quote? I kind of lost that one. No, Doug, he fished a lot of places. And by the time I met him, he was old enough that he wasn't fishing regularly. Uh, but we fished together in a lot of different places. I don't think he had a home stream, if that's what you're asking. Local high school fly tying club, that's a good idea, Pepe. And there certainly are some of those fly fishing clubs in high schools. So yeah. Okay, Pepe, I got you. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of history there in Montana. A lot of history here in Pennsylvania too. And my favorite place to fish up in the Catskills. I mean, that's where fly tying in the U.S. really began. Evelyn Anchors was something else, Doug. Yeah. And apparently her and Lon Chaney, although they kept getting paired up, did not get along at all. Steve, I made a couple of fly tying videos. I need to get a better camera for that. And actually, I've been meaning to get in touch with my buddy Phil because he knows his way around a camera. I don't know exactly what I need, but I need something that can do close up, like macro level video. And everything that I've got just doesn't do it. The, the focal length isn't right for it. So, but I've got a couple of videos up. They just don't look very good. I'm sorry, Michael. I ran out of jokes. Well, not really. You want one more joke? I think there was one more that I thought was funny and I'd come back to later. Ah, yes. Would you like one more? Yes, Pepe, there are some good spots in that area for sure. Pepe, there are some good spots in that area for sure. All right, we'll do one last joke to wrap this up. So, I'll preface this by saying I got an awful lot of Irish blood in me. I'm probably more Irish than anything, believe it or not. So, I'm allowed to tell this joke. An Irishman walks into a bar in Dublin and he sits down and he orders 3 pints and then he sits back in the room drinking each one in a turn. After he finishes, he returns to the bar and he orders 3 more. And the bartender says, you know, the beer starts to go flat right after you draw it. And they would taste a lot better if you ordered them one at a time. The Irishman replies, well, you see, I have 2 brothers. One lives in America now and the other lives in Australia. And I'm here in Dublin. And when they all left, we promised each other that we would drink beer like we used to remember the days when we were together. And the bartender agrees that this is a nice custom and he leaves it at that. And the Irishman becomes a regular in the bar and continues this custom, always ordering the same way, 3 pints, and drinks them all the same way. One day, after a while, he comes into the bar and he orders 2 pints. And all the other regulars in the bar notice and they fall silent. And when he comes back to the bar for the second round, the bartender says, you know, I don't want to intrude on your grief, but I want to offer you my condolences on your great loss. And the Irishman looks confused for a moment and he laughs. He says, oh, no, no, my brothers are fine. I just quit drinking. Yeah, that's my last joke for the night. Good camera for the money, says Codger Jim. I don't know which camera we're talking about. Who are the smartest people in the United States? The tourists. There you go, Michael. Yeah, Ron, thank you for that suggestion regarding Mark Tinsky. I don't really want to trade this. And this one isn't like that at all. This is like a pipe I've been smoking for years. It's got that raw briar taste to it. You know, it needs to be broken in still, but just in terms of the draw and everything, it's like an old friend. Gary's out because of the freezing. Well, Gary, I'm sorry about that. I hope you have a great weekend, my friend. That is too unlikely even for a joke, Lord Hogarth. Yes, indeed. Michael, thank you, and thank you and all the other folks that sent the jokes. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I mean that's the thing. If these were just purely funny jokes, it wouldn't be anywhere near as much fun. You got to have that groaning aspect to it. Thank you, Paul Johnson. I greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate it. Well, folks, we are at the 9:30 mark, which means we've gone for 90 minutes, believe it or not. It does seem like it's just been about 20, but I will. It's going to probably take me 2 drinks. There are young people fly fishing these days. Absolutely, creator. Um, it's rare, but it does happen. Anyway, thank you all, folks. I had a great time tonight. It's always fun, but this night is particularly fun. Uh, Sorry about the delay in the punchline, Doug. I hope you enjoyed the moth joke. If you didn't get it, go look up Norm Macdonald moth joke on YouTube. It's well worth it. So with that, folks, thank you for joining me. I'll be back Sunday with something or the other, and we'll be back next Friday for another live stream and many fewer stupid jokes. So hope you'll come back. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic weekend.